two phrases from a common gospel song as it appears in the hymnal. We'll try the first phrase, then the second. I'd like to know which one of these you think makes for a better introduction for the hymn. Here's the second one. Sorry, I'm pulling your leg here. If they hear 6 beats in each measure, they will be singing it like a gracefully slow waltz. They'll be dragging it. Beats are like tent pegs. The more you have, the more solidly you keep the tent from moving. Swing it in 2 beats per measure if you want the song to be more joyful. Let's face it, you are the accompanist, not the choir. In the choir, each voice must have a syllable for each note song. The hymnal, after all, was created for singers, not for accompanists. In time, you will recognize these lines as being the containers of a really solid cadence. We need to get the feel of them in our fingers. So if you can play this easily, fine. But I'm going to assume that there is one person following me who has a little problem with playing this. The next couple minutes is for that one person. So with your left hand, just play the octave at the end. This is the keynote. Now your index finger should be right about on D. That's the 5th scale step. So now back up on the bass line to 3, 4, 3, 2. Now the right hand, just the last 3 chords. So with both hands, the last measure. Now with your right hand, back up to the other chord. Just practice moving your whole hand at one time. The crucial member of this cadence comes right before the 5/7. If it seems as if it's the same chord as the last chord, well, it is. Each is a tonic chord, but the first one has step number 5 in the bass. It's the 5th of the scale, but also the 5th of the tonic chord. Technically, we say the chord is inverted. But since we don't have a cute nickname for it, let's just call it the 1/6/4 or the tonic 6/4. So remember this series of 3 chords. 1/6/4, 5/7, tonic. Tonic 6/4, 5/7, tonic. Now let's try doing the last phrase of the song as it's written here in the key of G. Starts up on the 5th of the scale. Now, for your left hand, put your thumb where your little finger was and drop your little finger onto the 4th step of the scale. look at the left hand again. And 4 is going to be on B flat. So for the key of F. Here is the original, the chorus of the song. It's for soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. I hope you agree with me that there's really no point in playing every chord as written. Here's a simpler version of the song. So here's a little special. In this hymn, the notes for the 5/7 are exactly in order. It begins with the 5th step. We say that's the root of the chord, and it's followed by the 3rd, the 5th, and 7th. Just don't confuse those with scale step numbers. They are numbers for this chord only. At least we've now accounted for why the little 7 always shows up in the 5/7 chord. Now let's look at the cadence again. Can you do this in 6 different keys? This would make a good introduction. It has the beginning of the hymn, but also has a convincing resolution to the tonic. The melody clearly outlines the 1 chord, and then the 4. At a fairly fast tempo, you could use only the 1 chord in the first measure. For congregational singing at a slower tempo, though we need the 5 chord to help set the lower pace. The melody and the bass lines together give us a solid 4 chord. We're simplifying the ending a little and going for just a 4, 1, 6, 4, 5, 7 cadence. To practice our transposing, let's try the first measure in C, just the right hand. Now again with the bass line. Now again, but in B flat. Once more, but in D. Now let's look at the right hand for the first 2 measures. In C, with the bass line, now in B flat. The bass line. Again. Now in D. Now for the beginning of the Alleluia. Right hand. In D. And now finally the whole cadence in C. Once more. Now in B flat. look at the bass line again. In G.